Okay, here we're down the road a piece and we're at Bragg headquarters, Georgia 30th Infantry, Colonel Thomas W. Mancham. I can't really read that, but I bet you can on the screen. It looks clearer. Stacy's resting her legs on a log. This is the Bragg headquarters.
Do we want to walk down and look at the stacked cannonball pyramid?
Yeah, that's actually where I was heading.
Okay.
So whenever you see a stacked cannonball pyramid, that's where like a commanding officer fell.
Yeah, like a general or something.
Yeah. So we're going to see.
General.
So last time we were here, I did go into the visitor center. That was years ago, but I remember the docent giving a description of a certain battle, and I believe it was the Confederates were in a trench and they were fighting from the trench. Well, the Union commander that was directly engaging them or whatever had his soldiers take a cannon to the end of the trench, set it in there and fired down the trench. And I believe it was described by survivors who witnessed it as it was just a red mist in that trench from all the people who died.
Oh no, this is headquarters.
Oh, okay. This is not... Okay. Well, that makes sense given the sign up there.
Actual location.
Headquarters, Army of Tennessee, General Braxton Bragg, September 20th, 1863. So this is where his tent was. Field headquarters, Army of Tennessee, General Braxton Bragg. Cool. At the close of the engagement on the 19th of September, orders were given for the renewal of the battle at daylight. The army was divided into two wings. General Polk was placed in command of the right wing, and General Longstreet in command of the left wing. The orders directed the attack to begin by divisions on the extreme right at dawn, and to be taken up rapidly and successively to the left. Owing to various delays, the attack did not open in General Polk's wing until 9:30 a.m. General Stewart's division, being the right of General Longstreet's wing, attacked at 11 a.m., followed at once by the division to his left. At this hour, the engagement became general. So Bragg's battlefield headquarters was right here. Orders were given from this very spot.
I wonder if they do stuff on the anniversary in September.
I wonder. This is a beautiful lawn. Look at this. Just gorgeous. We definitely recommend Chickamauga Battlefield if you want to visit. Ringgold is a slightly nicer town than Fort Oglethorpe. There's more stuff.
At least the part we've seen.
Yeah, the part we've seen. So it's just a little tip. You may find it to be the opposite. Who knows? Look at that sky. Be closing up shooting soon. It's getting late in the day, but we have a highlight that we hope to find and hope to be able to show you. And for the highlight of this video, ladies and gentlemen, Wilder Tower. Now, due to the government shutdown, I do not know for sure that this is open to climb, but we will soon find out.
Can you go out on the top?
Yeah.
If somebody was in there, would we be able to see them?
Yeah.
We don't see anyone.
We don't see anyone. I see somebody looking up at it. My deepest fears are that this is closed off because there's nobody to watch it, and Park Service is afraid somebody's gonna bail off the top. You know how it goes. But
Would that kill you?
oh yeah, you fell off that, you would be quite not with us anymore. And if you survived, you'd wish you weren't with us anymore. Looks locked. Well, friends and neighbors, it's as I feared. And there's a...
Do my photo from the other side.
Okay. During this lapse in appropriations, natural parks will remain as accessible as possible. We are doing our best to take care of your parks at this time. Some amenities and services may not be available.
The moose out front should have told you.
So, like the lighthouse, we cannot climb it. Stacey's getting bit by murder ants. And it is covered in ladybugs.
So last time you climbed up there,
Yeah.
was it scary?
Yeah.
Was it steep?
Yeah, it's very steep. It's almost exactly like the monument.
Is it like one at a time?
Oh no, there were multiple people up there.
No, but like when you're coming down and someone's going up,
Oh.
is there room?
Barely, barely.
Well, I'm sorry, babe.
All right, on the tower itself it says, the brigade crossing the Cumberlands with the general advance of the Army took part in the diversion above Chattanooga and shelled the city from Stringer's Ridge August 18th to September 9th. It crossed the Tennessee at Friars Island. The 92nd Illinois detached, having been the first to enter the city from Lookout Valley, and was engaged until the 16th with Bragg's cavalry in the vicinity of Ringgold, Tunnel Hill, Lee's Tan Yard, and Lee and Gordon's Mill. September 18th defeated purpose of Walker's corps to cross the Chickamauga at Alexander's Bridge. Also assisted Minty's brigade in resisting Bushrod. Johnson's crossing at Reed's Bridge night of the 18th held the roads east of the vineyards leading to fords of the Chickamauga. This is stumbly as all get out. During the 19th, heavily and successfully engaged at vineyards, the 92nd Illinois being detached and operating with General Reynolds at post at noon of the 20th. So last time we were here years ago, I climbed this, and likelihood of me finding that video buried deep in the back rooms of my computer are unlikely. But it's an impressive climb. It's an impressively built structure, and if you're afraid of heights as I am, it's terrifying, but it was absolutely worth the climb. Unfortunately, we cannot climb it today, and I will not tell you the thoughts going through my head about that, the frustration, but it is impressive even from the outside. Wilder's Tower. Now, we don't know much about Wilder's Tower or that affair, but 18th Battery, Indiana Light Artillery, 6 3-inch rifles, 4 mountain howitzers.
Yeah, it's all blue, so blue is federal.
Wilder's Brigade, Reynolds Division, Thomas Corps. In the forenoon, the battery took position on the ridge west of Crawfish Spring Road, southwest of this position, about 11:30 a.m. The troops on the left were falling in front of the advancing enemy, and the brigade went to their support. Moving at the double quick, the battery moved a few hundred yards to the left of the former position and opened very rapidly, shelling a field beyond a narrow strip of timber through which the enemy was moving. The brigade soon cleared the woods. One section was moved to this position and opened with canister on the retreating enemy till out of range. Soon after noon, the battery moved to its former position, and soon after to Chattanooga Valley, 5 miles from Chattanooga. Casualties of the battle: 2 men killed and 8 wounded, 6 horses killed.
I'm getting bit.
2 men killed and 8 wounded, 6 horses killed, 1 wounded.
There are so many books right here. It's murder ants. Do ladybugs bite?
All right, for the finale of this video, we had to come into Ringgold, which, by the way, has a beautiful downtown area. Who knew? I mean, I guess everybody knew, but we didn't know. But we are here for this neat city park. So we got Ringgold Gap, November 27th, 1863. After the Battle of Missionary Ridge, Bragg's Confederate Army retreated in disorder toward Dalton. Brigadier General Patrick R. Claiborne was ordered to take position in the Gap, hold back the Federals, and save the trains and artillery from capture. Exercising his only independent command, Claiborne utilized the terrain and his well-trained troops to hold up Federal pursuit for 5 precious hours. The trains and artillery were saved. By joint resolution, the Confederate Congress thanked Claiborne for his achievement.
Sherman's marched to the sea.
Ooh. Let's have a look at this. Look at this first. That's cool. National Historic Site, Atlanta Campaign, Ringgold Gap, May 7th, 1864. Here, through Ringgold Gap, a Federal advanced position, Sherman and his army moved forward to begin the campaign against Atlanta and the heart of the South. The Confederate defense, well conceived and ably executed, delayed the march to the sea and the eventual division of the Confederacy. Ooh, the Battle of Ringgold Gap. Before I try reading any of that, my battery's getting weak, so.
Map. Like you can see where we are. Like we're in the, so you can see the gap right, we're between the mountains.
Wow.
And then you go down here and then it's like there's Kennesaw Mountain.
Oh.
There's Stone Mountain.
That's cool.
That's super cool.
It's got the rivers. Etowah River. We went into Etowah Mounds before.
Oh yeah.
Cassville, Allatoona, Big Shanty. Wonder how many of those places are still place names. The Atlanta Campaign, May 7th through September 2nd, 1864. Ringgold Gap. Here, a federal advanced position was maintained during the winter 1863 to 1864, with the main force concentrated at Chattanooga. Sherman moved south through this gap, May 7th, 1864, to begin the Atlanta Campaign. He captured Atlanta 4 months later, September 2nd, and reached the coast at Savannah, December 21st. This movement split the Confederacy in two, destroyed military resources, centers of supply, and hastened the end of the war. It also destroyed a lot of stuff it did not need to. So yeah, this is really neat. I want to look over the... So this is the gap.
Yeah, here's the gap.
This is where Sherman actually came through.
Yeah. I know you like a gap.
I do like a gap.
You can tell you're in between two mountains.
It's amazing. And we learned a lot about Sherman at Shiloh, right? Like Sherman and Grant were friends.
Yeah, remember the bullet whizzed past his ear?
Yeah.
Sherman and Grant were friends. Sherman had bad mental problems.
Claiborne. This is an amazing statue.
You see how his tunic is unbuttoned? Like two of the buttons are
Oh yeah. Can you see that?
It probably means something, like it's statuary. Like,
Yeah. With binoculars. Look at his boots. And his sword.
yeah, this is really well done.
The artistry on this. His canteen. Even the sticks on the ground. And look.
Is that the artist?
Yeah. 2006.
Well, that's not very old.
Cairo, New York.
Wow. But like, look at how the pants are stuffed in the boot. Like you can see the wrinkles. It's
Yeah.
like really just really good.
It's astoundingly good. Confederate General Patrick Cleburne's Emancipation Proposal, presented to the High Command, Army of Tennessee, January 2nd, 1864. As between the loss of independence and the loss of slavery, we assume that every patriot will freely give up the latter. Give up the slave rather than be a slave himself. So wrote Irish-born Confederate Major General Patrick R. Cleburne following his celebrated victory at Ringgold Gap, Georgia. Cleburne took the opportunity of the attention it garnered to propose an idea which he had considered for months. The proposal to enlist slaves and guarantee freedom to all loyal slaves was the result of his realization that a valuable resource was not being tapped. He cited that throughout history, slaves had fought beside masters in many conflicts, and that the North was only using the slavery issue as merely a pretense to establish sectional superiority and a more centralized form of government. Remove slavery as a war factor and the foundations of the North's argument would crumble. Cleburne also knew that Great Britain and France would likely recognize the South as a sovereign nation once it emancipated its own slaves. While on leave in late 1863 to Alabama, he canvassed various planters on whether they would release their slaves for military service. The agreement was unanimous. Based on this support, he wrote the treatise and prepared to take it to his commanders. His paper was presented to the Confederate High Command of the Army of Tennessee in Dalton, Georgia on January 2nd, 1864. In an emotional address, he beseeched his peers to consider the fate of the South should she lose the war. Every man should endeavor to understand the meaning of subjugation before it is too late. We can give but a faint idea when we say it means the loss of all we now hold most sacred: slaves and all other personal property, lands and homesteads, liberty, justice, safety, pride, manhood. It means that the history of this heroic struggle will be written by the enemy, that our youth will be trained by northern school teachers, will learn from northern school books. Their version of the war will be impressed by all the influences of history and education to regard our gallant dead as traitors, our maimed veterans as fit objects for derision. The document bore the signatures of all 13 brigadier generals, colonels, and majors serving in Cleburne's division. However, the reaction to this far-thinking intellectual address was mixed among the other corps commanders of Poe Johnston's army, when the detractor General W.H.T. Walker demanded the idea was treasonous and wanted to poll all the officers present. They became intimidated. There was no immediate support for Cleburne's offer to train a division of slaves to serve in the Confederate Army in exchange for freedom, though the idea had no treasonous intentions. Marlboro Jones, Black Confederate, 40th Georgia Regiment. Eventually, this idea reached a vote in the Confederate Congress and passed March 13, 1865. The overall responsibility of organizing these colored troops was given to General-in-Chief Robert E. Lee, with the stipulation that no slave will be accepted as a recruit unless with his own consent and with the approbation of his master by a written instrument conferring, as far as he may, the rights of a freedman.